Distribution of oceans and continents. Part 1. Continents cover 29% of the surface of the earth and the remainder is under oceanic waters. But the positions of the continents and the ocean bodies have not been the same in the past and will not continue to enjoy their present positions in times to come. Therefore, question arises, what are their positions in the past? Why and how have they changed their positions? And how do the scientists know about it? There are many theories as to how continents have changed in their locations and shapes. We will take a look into them. Continental drift. If we observe the coastline of the Atlantic Ocean, there is a symmetry of the coastlines on either side of the ocean. Therefore, in the 16th century itself, many scientists thought of this similarity and considered the possibility of the two Americas, Europe and Africa, to have been one single unit joined together. It was Abraham Ortelius, a Dutch map maker, who first proposed such a possibility as early as 1596. Antonio Pellegrini drew a map showing the three continents together. However, it was Alfred Wegener, a German meteorologist, who put forth a comprehensive argument in the form of the continental drift theory in 1912. Through this, he explained the distribution of the oceans and the continents. According to Wegener, all the continents formed a single continental mass and mega oceans surrounded the same. The supercontinent was named Pangaea or Pangaea, which meant all earth. The mega ocean was called Panthalassa, meaning all water. He argued that around 200 million years ago, the supercontinent Pangaea began to split. Pangaea first broke into two large continental masses such as Laurasia and Gondwana land, forming the northern and southern components respectively. Subsequently, Laurasia and Gondwana land continued to break into various smaller continents that exist today. A variety of evidence was offered in support of the continental drift. Some of these are given below. 1. The matching of the continents, the jigsaw fit. The shorelines of Africa and South America facing each other have a remarkable and unmistakable match. It may be noted that a map produced using a computer program to find the best fit of the Atlantic margin was presented by Bullard in 1964. It proved to be quite perfect. The match was tried at 1000 fathom line instead of the present shoreline. The second evidence is rocks of the same age across the oceans. The radiometric dating methods developed in the recent period have facilitated correlating the rock formation from different continents across the vast ocean. The belt of ancient rocks of 2000 million years from the Brazilian coast matches with those of Western Africa. The earliest marine deposits along the coastline of South America and Africa are of the Jurassic Age. This suggests that the ocean did not exist prior to that time. The third evidence is stillite. Stillite is a sedimentary rock formed out of deposits of glaciers. The Gondwana system of sediments from India is known to have its counterparts in 6 different landmasses of the southern hemisphere. At the base, the system has thick stillite indicating extensive and prolonged glaciation. Counterparts of this succession are found in Africa, the Falkland Islands, Madagascar, Antarctica and Australia besides India. Overall resemblance of the Gondwana type sediments clearly demonstrates that these landmasses had remarkably similar histories. The glacial stillite provides unambiguous evidence of paleoclimates and also of drifting of continents. The fourth evidence is the placer deposits. The occurrence of rich placer deposits of gold in the Ghana coast and the absolute absence of source rock in the region is an amazing fact. The gold-bearing veins are in Brazil, and it is obvious that the gold deposits of the Ghana are derived from the Brazil plains, where the two continents lay side by side. The fifth and the last evidence in support of the continental drift is distribution of fossils. When identical species of plants and animals adapted to living on land or in fresh water found on either side of the marine barriers, a problem arises regarding accounting for such distribution. The observations that lemurs occur in India, Madagascar and Africa led some to consider a contiguous landmass known as Lemuria linking these three landmasses. Mesosaurus was a small reptile adapted to shallow brackish water. The skeletons of these are found only in the two localities, the southern Cape province of South Africa and the Iraver formations of Brazil. The two localities presently are 4,800 kilometers apart with an ocean in between them. Force for drifting. Wegener suggested that the movement responsible for the drifting of the continents was caused by pole fleeing force and tidal force. The polar fleeing force relates to the rotation of the Earth. It is a fact that the Earth is not a perfect sphere. It has a bulge at the equator. This bulge is due to the rotation of the Earth. The second force that was suggested by Wegener is that the tidal force is due to the attraction of the Moon and the Sun that developed tides in oceanic waters. Wegener believed that these forces would become effective when applied over many million years. However, most of scholars considered these forces to be totally inadequate. It is interesting to note that for continental drift, most of the evidence was collected from the continental areas in the form of distribution of flora and fauna or deposits like tillite. A number of discoveries during the post-war period added new information to geological literature. Particularly, the information collected from the ocean floor mapping provided new dimensions for the study of distribution of oceans and continents. This gave rise to many more interesting theories. We will study them in the next part.